And we are live. Awesome. So, Vegan Demon Slayers, episode number 6. And I'd like to start the introduction by saying that I recently read up about hybrid food. Um, and very interesting, very interesting. I didn't know this before. But yeah, I go grocery shopping, and most of the product section is all hybrids. So I just influence you guys to go and look up the hybrid stuff and see what is hybrid, what is not, how hybrid works, and search into that because hybridized stuff, they vibrate at a different rate, they vibrate at a different frequency rather than non-hybrid stuff, which is they call it sun food, right? Mother Nature makes that vibration. So when humans come along and alter that stuff, change its vibration, and hurry, hurry, we got to make some profit. We want to be able to grow these bananas in this type of environment, so let's make hybrid stuff and make mass production and just feed the public and blah blah blah. We'll sell it to them anyways. So it's not necessarily a good thing. I mean, it could keep you alive a little longer. It could keep you alive just for now, but in overall, it's not beneficial whatsoever. So, yeah, try to find some sun food and know what hybrid food is all about. That's what I gotta say.
Great. Thanks, Elaine. How are you, Kimmy?
Hi, Santos. Hello, how are you?
Great. Great. Wonderful.
I hope you're very well.
Yeah, I'm feeling really, really good and wonderful to be with you two guys. I really enjoy our show. And
I think we have a connection problem again.
Should be right. Can't you
right
hear me?
There? I've just about caught you there.
Okay.
But
Oh, boy.
if you didn't hear me, I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, great.
Thanks, sister. I heard you, and I'll see if I can fix the problem here. Can you hear me better now? Any better?
No, it's very broken up. If you and Elaine are fine, I'll just sit back and not say anything because it will I think it might wreck the show if my connection's not very good.
Can you hear me, Elaine?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. All right. Well, let me just continue on then. Anyway, for the sake of the show, the listeners are listening and can hear. So, just want to say thank you very much for joining me. Thank you. This is a very, very special show today. For me, it's my birthday. So that's why I really wanted to do today. It's the 24th of March for me in Australia. For you guys, it's the 23rd. The eclipse, the full moon. The Jehovah's Witnesses are celebrating the memorial of Jesus Christ. The Hare Krishnas are celebrating the birthday of Lord Chaitanya. The Jews are celebrating Nisan 14. It is a sacred and holy day. And so this is why I wanted to do the show today, because it's such a special, special time. And I want to share a few very wonderful things with you. First and foremostly, I want to show you my parrot friend. There's the king parrot. I've just fed him some seeds. Let's see if we can get up a little bit closer there. And that fella's name is Chaitanya himself. I call him Chaitanya and sing Hare Krishna to him. Loves it. Chaitanya. Yeah, he's just busy eating seeds. Normally he brings his girlfriends. The king parrots, the males have a red head and a green body. And with the females, it's the other way around. It's green head and red body. And so, yeah, I just want to share that with you. And I also wanted to share why today is such a sacred day, and of course always speaking about our subject, which is veganism, and
Yes.
how important this is. So when the sun enters Aries, this is a very, very important and sacred time for all cultures around the year. As I've already said, Christians, Hindus, Jews, Islamists, they all pay attention when the sun enters Aries and forms a full moon relationship with the moon in Libra. And so these two, when this happens, the moon is opposite on a full moon. And so the sun is in Aries, the moon is in Libra. Libra is a sign of balance. It sits between Virgo and Scorpio. Both of Virgo and Scorpio have a feminine sign or a feminine glyph. I'll show you that. Virgo is a M with a Y. That's Mary. Isis Mary. That's exactly how Mary was written in Egyptian. It's Isis Mary. Scorpio is an M with that scorpion tail. But both of those, Libra is the sign in the middle. That's the the omega of the Greeks, and it's how the Islamists have their domes. Their domes are like this because this is Allah, the sun. This is the sun setting because the sun sets in the scales of Libra every day. Aries is in the east, Libra is in the west, and that's why the Muslims, they always face the west because they're facing this dome. And so when the full moon is in Libra and the sun is in Aries, as it is today on this sacred 23rd March, it's very, very important. It's called the marriage of the Lamb. So the full moon is the marriage of the Lamb. This is why the Christians go and celebrate the full moon. They celebrate on the full moon, Nisan 14, the memorial of the Lamb, Jesus. And this is why Easter occurs on the first Sunday, Easter Sunday, on the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the crossing of the equinox. Now, why is today's full moon so special? Well, because to happen on the 23rd, it can only happen, the earliest it can happen, of course, is on the 22nd. And so this Nisan 14. And it very rarely happens on the 22nd or the 23rd or the 24th, which is my birthday. And so it's special for me, very, very special. And unfortunately, what happens is a lot of Muslims go and slaughter lambs. They take it literally. You see, when the sun is going through Aries, it slaughters the lamb, just as Abraham killed the ram and sacrificed the ram in lieu of Isaac, I-sacrifice. You see, the slaughter, when you take the S out of slaughter, you're left with laughter. And so Isaac means I sacrifice. And so when Abraham was told by the angel not to take his son's life, he turned around and saw a ram caught in the thicket. Well, Abraham is the sun. And when the sun goes through Aries, it slays the lamb. When it goes through Taurus, it's Mithras, slaying the bull. When it goes through Gemini, one of the twins gets killed. Usually it's Castor. cast down by Pollux. Pollux meaning, lux means light, divine light. And so, and when it goes through Leo, it's Samson killing the lion, it's Hercules killing the lion. So by degrees, as the sun goes through 30 degrees of a sign, it slaughters the animal. Unfortunately, we have literalists, materialists, taking this literally and actually killing those lambs and eating them physically. Now, this is very, very sad, because many people argue that it's okay to kill animals as long as you thank God and you ask the animal to give its life for this sacrifice. Well, no mystic or no philosopher ever subscribed to this. I understand how materialists are satisfied with this reasoning and allow themselves to succumb to this reasoning. But the true mystic, the true spiritualist and transcendentalist does not follow these ways. They do not steal the life of an animal that could live for 5 to 10 years just so that they can have a few bites and sustain their lives an extra few weeks. So for the sake of an extra week of life, you deprive the life of an animal to live. And so this is very sad, what is going on. And sure, I do believe that this sad situation that we see of all these butchered animals in supermarkets, all of these caged animals in farms, hens cooped up in little pens, geese, pigs, cattle, all caught and entrapped by humans so that they can eat them. And it's murder. Make no mistake about it, it's murder. I'm not here to be judgmental. I don't want to do that, and I do want to reach out in love to all people, whether they eat meat or not. It's not my concern. It's not my place to judge. And I'm happy that I've seen the light, and that I will never, ever, for the rest of all of eternity, ever sustain myself from the life of another animal. People argue that when you eat vegetables, you are also taking that life. In a sense, you are. But when you take a fruit from a tree, the tree continues to live. You cannot go to a pig and take a slice of its bum and ingest that and allow the pig at the same time to continue living. Its life must be terminated for the sake of 3 or 4 bites of flesh. Whereas when you go to a pear tree, you ask the pear tree, as the pear is falling into your hand, to give you its beautiful perfumed fruit, and the tree continues to give fruit year after year after year after year. And so there is a big difference. And I do appreciate the wise people that come to me and say to me, yes, but this is the situation. The situation is such that we have butchered animals in supermarkets and people are eating them. And so they should be blessing that food with love as they ingest that food. Yes, there's sound reasoning to that, and there's a lot of sense to that. You know, if you're in prison, for instance, as I've been for 7 weeks, and you get GMO food, you get all kinds of not well prepared, and you can tell the food is not exceptional, it's not great quality. Sometimes it's okay, but other times it's not that good. All you have left to do is to bless that food, and bless it with love. And how we can do this is by changing the crystalline nature of the food, friends. We can, if you look at Water Crystals by Masaru Emoto, a friend of mine reminded me of this last night in a conversation we had. I'm a big fan of Masaru, and he passed away a couple of years ago. And he left us with his beautiful, beautiful technology and wisdom, and showing how we can change the nature of the water we drink. Before we drink the water, we can bless the water. And we can change the crystals from loving, from ordinary crystal shape, because the water is just water. And when we bless it and love that water, the crystals are transformed. And you can see that in all of Masaru Emoto's water crystal videos. Please, if you haven't already done that, do so. And Elaine, adding to what you said at the introduction, we can actually study the works of Dr. Sebi, S-E-B-I, about hybridized foods and how we can avoid those. But certainly, if we do have substandard food, we can bless that food. And for materialists out there that believe that they still need to sustain themselves on the flesh of putrefying carcasses, such as murdered animals, if you're going to do such a thing, I would say protect yourselves firstly and foremostly by prayer and to bless that food. That's the best thing you can do, because apart from that, there is no philosopher of old and there's no mystic who will bless you for doing such a thing. And so there may be exceptions, and I'm not here to judge, but I want blessings for all. I want blessings for my materialist brothers who are still trapped in the materialist paradigm, and I want blessings for all the spiritual ones, as we need to connect with one another and foster goodwill and loving communication between one and all. So, Kimmy, would you like to add to that, sister?
Yeah, I think the vibration of like GMO food is very bad, and I think it's everywhere. I hope you're receiving this and it's not all getting mucked up.
I am.
It's
perfectly.
quite a bad connection. I think that if you can stay away from, you have to. You've just got to at all costs stay away from GMO food, because again, you're feeding into negative companies like Monsanto. Yeah. Are you?
Yep.
You are. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's all mucked up here. Yeah. Definitely change. Eating meat does change your vibration, and it's in order to be like you're saying about the crystals in the water. The same thing happens to your blood. If you're eating negativity, then the very same thing happens when you eat meat. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Or any low vibrational food for that matter, like cheese and eggs.
Yeah. Very true.
I hope that this is happening, because it's a very bad connection here.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Perfectly. So, yeah, very true. And so there are still people who argue bitterly.
I can't hear you.
Oh, really? All right, well, let's just continue on, and hopefully this will be recorded. But there are people who will argue that they need to be sustained by flesh. Well, here's what I say. Where is the evidence that it is at all beneficial? And where is the evidence? I would say bring your best evidence to the table to support this, because all the evidence suggests that the vegan diet is the one and only diet for humans, and probably fruit. The fruitarian diet would be the best, absolutely the ultimate diet. And so my thinking is that probably a mixture of 50-50% fruit and vegetables and raw and cooked would be the best way to go. And I believe that vegetables need to be cooked, whereas fruit do not. Because vegetables have cellulose, and cellulose is very, very difficult to digest in our current weak stomachs. And so I would suggest probably boiling at a very, very constant temperature. Well, that's what boiling is, isn't it? It's constant. And so